And now things about to get going. Let's turn to Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who've got the call in.
And there's a shot earlier of the Rockets preparing for action. It's a Western Conference matchup as the Los Angeles Lakers come into town in this game. Great to be with you. This is Kevin Harden here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellum as 2K Sports presents this Tuesday afternoon broadcast of the NBA. And now, presented by State Farm, we take a look at the matchups for our tip-off coming up moments from now. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Dwight Howard in this one?
Yeah, probably the most dominant defensive presence in the league today. Actually, there's no question about it. He is. Covers so much ground. He's big. He can jump. He anticipates. He just changes the entire team's defensive outlook when he's on the floor.
Yeah, steals, rebounds, and most dramatically blocks shots. He brings an athleticism, does Howard, to the center position that we've not seen in a long time.
Harden's shot is good.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense. You know, the Lakers weren't quite as dominant as they were in 2010-11. But it wasn't because of how they played against the West. They really did a nice job against their conference rivals.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Feeds it to Parsons. On the top of the key. A rebound by Gasol. 42-16 was their end mark of the season against the West. The Lakers certainly showed they can play with every team that was a contender out there, and they were tough, but it just at the end, it just did not come together.
Well, nonetheless, winning 2 out of every 3 games you play in conference action is a good recipe for finishing near the top of the standings. The Lakers would have loved to have been that #1 seed, but they didn't get it. It wasn't because of how they played in the West, though.
It was, I think, the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, as it turned out. Down Patterson kicks to Lynn. Just 5 to shoot. There's the 3. Rebounded by the Lakers. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Yeah, knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
And it's good.
Boy, what an amazing career Kobe Bryant has had. Last year, he was a close 2nd place in the league in scoring average, passing Shaquille O'Neal to become 5th all-time on the NBA scoring list. And at 34 years of age, Kobe's got a chance to climb that leaderboard even further before it's all said and done.
Here is Harden following the basket by Kobe Bryant. That's good.
Not much resistance for him after that pick, Kevin. I mean, he had all sorts of space to hit the shot.
World peace on the way. Kicks it to Blake. No luck. And Houston the other way. Well, going back to Kobe, as he's gotten older, you see him working much more in the post and coming off screens. He's still putting up great numbers. Finished 2nd in scoring his back last year. But he's still doing it a little bit differently than he did when he was a younger man.
Well, Kevin, he said he's not going to hang around past his prime, but he's doing everything he can to make adjustments to extend his prime.
You know, Houston for the last several years has tried to get a star player on their roster, but it's so difficult to do. There's only about 10 of them in the entire league. But what they've done is they've put a lot of good players on the floor. They've built their asset base, and they're poised to make a deal when the right one comes their way.
Lynn, good work defensively by Gasol.
That's what they call the $1 million move with the 10-cent finish.
And Doris Burke spoke with Mike D'Antoni. Doris?
He told me he's a big fan of 6-man winner James Harden, saying he's really one of those right-brain type of players. He just sees the game a little bit differently. It's tough to game plan for him because he can hurt you so many ways. But when he's leading that 2nd unit, you can bet he'll be our primary focus. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. Really, if you don't have a top 10 player in the league, you just continue to gather talent, and that's what the Rockets have really done.
Yeah, and you call that stockpiling assets. If you aren't building around someone, then you get as many good assets as you can because they're always movable. And I think Houston has done a nice job with that. They're in a position to add pieces or either trade for additional pieces now.
Here's Patterson following the bucket by the Lakers. Harden dishes to Patterson. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
That jump shot's like a layup for him when the defense backs off like that.
Lakers leading by 6. Kobe kicks to world peace. The pass to Blake. Back to world peace. Backing him down. Open look. And the shot is good. World peace has got 7 points in the game.
Kevin McHale, just one of the funniest people you've ever met. I mean, he has so many stories. That's why he was a good broadcaster. But I think that serves you well as a coach, too. You really need to keep the players entertained. It's such a long, grinding year. I'm sure he cracked a few jokes in that locker room.
So it's the Lakers now. The Rockets making the shot. Pass to Howard. World peace on the way. He kicks it to Blake. Lakers passing it around. The 19-foot shot, and it's Kobe missing. And Steve, you mentioned Coach Kevin McHale and his great sense of humor. Such a great asset for a coach with all the ups and downs of a season.
Yeah, 82 games, Kevin. I mean, it's such a grind at times. You need somebody to lighten things up. You need a coach who can change things up, keep you off guard a little bit. So that sense of humor of McHale's really comes in handy.
Howard can't hit.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
An open lane right there. Pretty much saw the daylight he wanted and took advantage.
Yeah, great opportunity, and he seized it without much hesitation.
Yeah, a little too easy, if you ask me. The defense really needs to tighten things up here.
Down low. Here's world peace. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. And it's 9 points for Meta World Peace. Houston with a big group substitution here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for a Sheik. Marcus Morris comes in for Patrick Patterson. Carlos Delfino's checked in for Chandler Parsons. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Jeremy Lin. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Howard. Jamison comes in for Pau Gasol. Devin Ebanks, he's checked in for Meta World Peace. And Darius Morris subs in for Steve Blake. Gets it to go. And it's 6 points for Kobe Bryant.
What a start it's been for them from the field in this game.
You know what? It's early, but if they can keep shooting at this rate, Steve, they'll run away with this thing.
Now, here is Harden. He's got 8. He dishes it to Douglas. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for James Harden. The Lakers also with a sub. Blake's checked in. Rockets trail by 6. Here's Delfino. Poked away. Lobs it up there.
Looky here. How about that one? That play. Take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook for future reference.
Perfectly done. He put it on a platter for him.
He sure did. And how about the touch on the finish, too? That was really nicely done.
Morris gets to Blake. Jamison up on top. He feeds it to Morris. Jamison with a screen on Douglas. Here's Morris. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Douglas the pass to Aldridge. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's his first trip to the line.
And, of course, last year's superb free throw shooting, above 90%.
And, guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Chandler Parsons comes in for Carlos Delfino. And it's Harden in for Tony Douglas. Now here's Kobe. He's got 6. Shot clock at 6. Good D by Harden.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside. and doing it with intention and purpose.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play. Nasty, nasty. Whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. That was just mean right there.
Harden dishes to Parsons. Houston needs to get a shot. And it's blocked. And they get it back. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Houston with a big group substitution here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for a Sheik. Marcus Morris comes in for Patrick Patterson. Carlos Delfino's checked in for Chandler Parsons. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Jeremy Lin. And the Lakers also making a switch. Hill's checked in. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Here's Douglas. He goes up. No luck. Good work defensively by Kobe. Lakers leading by 8.
Well, the Rockets just missed being part of the playoffs. Based on the record, the 9th seed in the West. That doesn't get you anything but a number next to your name, really, and good luck for next year. They were in it, though, right until the end.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, I think it's accurate to call the Dwight Howard situation a saga, and it has, at least for the moment, calmed down. A trade to the Los Angeles Lakers has now thrust them squarely into the championship picture. First, the acquisition of star point guard Steve Nash, and now the best center in the league. The tough Western Conference just got tougher. Kevin?
The story of the offseason, no question. Thank you, Doris. Going back to the Rockets, only 2 games back of Utah for that 8th and final conference playoff position. Steve, looked like they just kind of ran out of gas near the end of the year.
Well, they were right there down the stretch, Kevin, but Utah was a little bit stronger. I think injuries may have played a little bit of a factor as well for Houston, but this is a team that you expect to be in the mix year after year.
And finished off by Gasol.
2 hands for safety, 1 hand if you want major elevation.
That's right. That's right.
You know you can get up higher with 1 hand. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It really is true. I mean, you can extend better with 1.
Well, whatever he did, whatever it was, it definitely works, Clark.
Well, Meta World Peace, formerly Ron Artest, known league-wide for his tenacious defense, strong, quick hands, quick feet. And that makes him extremely tough to deal with.
He said last year in the playoffs he wanted to be called Indiana Ron. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Aldrich. Chandler Parsons comes in for Carlos Delfino. And it's Jeremy Lin in for James Harden. To the paint. And Parsons kicks to Douglas. Lin dishes it to Parsons. From deep. And that one's good. Parsons got 5 points so far.
Well, Parsons was really a surprise coming out of Florida. Had a big impact his rookie season with Houston. Very reliable in a lot of areas. Can handle the ball to knock down a long-range shot. And a better defender than you think as well.
That is what makes Parsons such an easy guy to send out on the floor. You know exactly what he's going to give you on offense and is very consistent. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, when you talk about the defense in Meta World Peace, Steve, do you think he's lost a step?
Oh, yeah, there's no question he's slowed down somewhat. I mean, in his prime, he had this incredible combination of speed and power. Now it's more just power. But he's still an excellent defender, particularly against guys who he can cover down on the block because of that immense strength.
Harden the pass to Morris. Over Jamison. Nice shot from the wing. Morris has got 4 points now in the quarter. Lakers leading by 7. Blake dishes to Jamison. He passes to World Peace. Back to Jamison. Fires the 3. The shot is off.
You know, fellas, once he got into position under the boards, I mean, he wasn't letting anybody get around him.
Here's Harden, and it's Houston with another.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Good luck. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Lynn. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
You know, I think a lot of players, Kevin, should look at what Jeremy Lin's been doing in the offseason and take a few notes. I mean, not just basketball work, but advanced training targeted to improve his speed, agility, and leaping ability, becoming a better athlete in addition to becoming a better basketball player going forward.
And the Rockets making a change here. A Sheets checked in. And here are the Rockets now. It's a three-point game. Lynn with it. Now the dish to Harden. Passes it to Patterson. Whistle blows. Yes, that's going to be a travel. And Clark, you mentioned Jeremy Lin's work on his athleticism, and the Knicks said when they tested his agility after bringing him in, that it was off the charts. Better than anyone had ever tested, they said. Well, I find that kind of hard to believe, but that's what they say.
Yeah, well, Lynn obviously came a long way from when he came out of Harvard in the draft because he really didn't test that well at that time. But he's worked so hard, got himself in unbelievable condition, and also has a lot to prove. Everybody predicted he would fail, and he's proven them wrong.
Kobe kicks to Howard. Backing down. And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Howard. And it's a 7-point Laker lead.
You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint. And when you can get them, you got to score them.
Now, here is Harden. He's got 10. Lynn, there's the feed to Patterson. Gets a look. Back to Lynn. Lynn gets a screen from Patterson. Lynn the pass to Harden. Feeds it to a Sheik. Kicks it to Lynn. Patterson setting the pick for Lynn. Just 4 to shoot. Patterson dishes to Lynn. Over Blake. The Rockets with another miss.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Back to Kobe. Gasol, a screen on Harden. Rejected by a Sheik. Rockets trail by 7.
Well, you think about the Lakers a year ago, I think the thing that bothered them was they just never could win consistently on the road. They controlled their home court, but on the road it was a different story.
For the Rockets, Cole Aldrich. He's checked in for Patterson. Delfino comes in for Chandler Parsons. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for James Harden. And the Lakers also making a switch. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Pau Gasol. And Hill backs him in. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Hill's got his first points in this one. And you look back at last season, and Steve was just touching on it, the Lakers just really had trouble when they left L.A. on the road. They just couldn't bring it together.
Kevin, they ended up with a 15-18 road record on the year. First time in about 5 seasons that they haven't had a winning record on the road.
Gets it to go. And that's now 6 points here for Lynn.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Kobe. Here's Howard. Now the pass to Hill. Outside for world peace. Blake in low to Hill. Working on a Sheik. Another shot. Hill. No good.
Well, he didn't quit on the play. He defended the shot, contested it, and then got back straight to the glass.
And we're through.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. 36.
Time now for the Tuesday wrap.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first. Third quarter starting here now. Meta World Peace has been sensational.
Well, why eat at the drive-thru when you can sit down at the buffet and have all you can eat, Clark?
Well, I know you've been listening, partner. I like that. That's exactly what you need to do. Take advantage of what's available.
Patterson plays down low with Ashik. Harden out there with Jeremy Lin. And it's Parsons in at the 3 slot. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Blake gives to Kobe. That one goes. Count it. Kobe's got 8 points.
Yeah, when he gets on a roll, it's pretty much over. He can get into that zone where he's knocking down perimeter shots, using that speed and size and footwork to get anywhere he wants on the court. And when he gets to his spot, if he's knocking his shot down, forget it.
You know, and some guys may get on a roll and then lose focus, but that's not the case with Kobe. I mean, he may miss a few. You might try to call a timeout, but his aggressive mindset is always such that he's going to keep coming at you, and that's how a guy like him can end up with 81 points in a game.
Well, last year, Jeremy Lin, such a huge story in the NBA, waived by 2 teams, and he was close to being waived by the Knicks when injuries forced them to play him. And his dominant play propelled him to 7 straight wins, and he became famous around the globe.
Pass to Harden. Back to Lin. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And going back to Jeremy Lin, you talk about a 180-degree shift. He went from couch surfing at his brother's apartment and at Landry Field's couch to a week later being the toast of the town. What, Clark, an incredible story.
Right out of the movies and only on Broadway, and he moved into a swanky apartment in White Plains, Kevin. Someday, I guarantee you, they're going to make a movie out of this. Just an unbelievable story, but there was some work and substance involved in that story. This wasn't just Hollywood or New York glamour and glitz. I mean, this kid produced, and that's why he captured the imagination of basketball fans everywhere.
Parsons passes to Lin. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That's foul number 2 for him. Now a timeout called by Houston. Takers on D. And here is Lin. He's got 10. 5 on the clock. Over Howard.
He may want to start spreading the ball around a little bit. His shot is off right now.
Lakers leading by 4. Now Blake. This all setting the pick for world peace. Kobe. Buries it down low. Kobe's got 11 points.
You know, he's given them a nice scoring option through most of this game.
This is his 2nd attempt at the line tonight.
You know, he really did excel at the stripe. I mean, they couldn't have asked for too much more from him when it came to knocking down free throws.
You know, nobody really knew how good the Rockets would be after the Yao Ming era ended, but last year was a good one for them. They were deep. They played around Luis Scola in the post. They had excellent guard play with Kyle Lowry and Goran Dragic. And this was a team that was tough to beat, especially in Houston. They controlled their home floor well.
Blake kicks to world peace. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. 16 points for Meta World Peace.
What a streak he's on. He's just one of those guys who can really catch fire.
Lin kicks to Ashik. That's tipped. Harden outside. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by the Lakers. And the Rockets would end up winning 2/3 of their home games, Steve, going 22-11. Just what you want to see from a team rebuilding, Clark. You know, as their core is being put back together, capturing whatever they can at home and then extending it from there.
Exactly. Defending home court, really important. We all know that. And a lot of changes this offseason. It'll be interesting to see how this new-look roster stacks up.
4 on the clock. Here's Jamison. No good from the wing.
Finally a miss, but still 4 for 5 shooting to start this third quarter.
And there's a whistle that goes on Darius Morris. That's his first foul. Here's Douglas. looking for his first bucket of the game. Over Morris. Douglas can't hit. Lakers leading by 8. Jamison with it. Guarded now by Morris. Backing down is Bryant. Jamison. He kicks it to Morris. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Ebanks dishes to Hill. The turnaround, and it's rejected. Douglas with it. He's against Morris. Got past him with the quick drop step. Lakers have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. He dishes it to Ebanks. He feeds it to Morris. Dishes to Kobe. Here is Ebanks. Here's Hill with the clock winding down. Good.
Got to be very careful with this team. They can be really strong inside if they get good position.
Well, you give up that kind of deep position, Steve, you're done. It's over.
Here's Aldrich. That's in, coming off a nice assist from Douglas. And the Lakers call time here.
You know, Tony Douglas had the starting point guard role early last season for the Knicks, but just didn't run with it. He struggled with his shooting and his playmaking, so it became a season to forget for him on an individual basis as Jeremy Lin took his starting job.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Ashik has checked in for Aldrich. Patterson comes in for Marcus Morris. Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Tony Douglas. Morris passes to World Peace. He passes to Blake. Pass to Howard. Working on a Sheik. Takes it up. He gathers. And Dwight Howard again. Howard's got 8 points. And Tony Douglas, I think you'd say Clark in his first 2 seasons in the league prior to last season had been a pleasant surprise. But, you know, as Steve just said, last season was really a struggle.
Yeah, the growth isn't always going to be a straight line north. The late first rounder showed he could shoot the 3 and play tough defense, a little undersized when he has to play 2 guards. But he's still a guy that I think is going to be very productive going forward.
That's a gut punch right there, Clark. Cough up the ball at one end and get beaten on the break at the other.
Yeah, that really hurts. That's painful.
Lynn kicks to Delfino. Fade away. The basket good off the assist from Lynn. Lakers leading by 8. There's the dish to Hill. To the inside. Here's World Peace. The Rockets pull it in. Ashik's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Hill, no good.
He operates pretty well in traffic, guys, but that was a tough play to finish off.
Lynn dishes to Patterson. Over Hill, the offensive rebound.
And a missed opportunity right there.
Definitely. I think he should have converted that one.
Now, here is Morris. Defended by Lynn. Blake with it. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Patterson. And the basket by Blake. And the Lakers lead by 10.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Lynn kicks to Delfino. Guarded by Blake. Feeds away. Delfino, good. Delfino's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, really doing a good job of getting into the teeth of that defense here.
Yeah, they're having their way in the paint right now, guys. That's 6 of their last 10 points coming inside the lane.
Patterson, that drops. Patterson's got 6.
There was no question about it. He was going to finish that one off.
Blake passes to Morris. The feed now to Blake. Kicks to Howard. Working on a Sheik. Howard in the post. And that one's good. 12 points for him. The third quarter comes to a close. Lakers. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Today, it's the Lakers coming away with the uncontainable game. Everything seems to be going their way, and right now they look to be in complete control. We'll see if that's the case as we head into the final period.
All right, Doris, thanks. So with Howard sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Mike D'Antoni right now. In the backcourt, Steve Blake and Kobe Bryant. Pau Gasol is out there with Antawn Jamison. And it's World Peace at the 3, the small forward. Here's Parsons, covered by World Peace. 3-pointer. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. Gasol's got his 5th rebound in this one. Kobe dishes to Blake. Outside Gasol. 18 feet out. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. 9 points for Pau Gasol.
He got that one, but he hasn't been producing the way we're accustomed to. He needs to look for a shot a bit more.
Here's Lynn. Good work defensively by Gasol.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Kobe kicks to Blake. Feeds it to Jamison. Inside to Gasol. Shoots it. Rockets with the rebound. Here's Parsons. Harden outside from downtown, and the shot is good.
Well, he can shoot the 3. We know that, but I'm not sure that he does. I mean, they weren't anywhere near him on that possession.
The pass to Kobe. And we're around 2 minutes into the 4th quarter here. The short one's on the money.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. When you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Kevin McHale coaching his team during that break. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
World Peace, the pass to Howard. Kobe attacking. That's good. Kobe's got 10 points in just the second half.
Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
Now here's Lynn. Defense right on him. Pass to Harden. Guarded by Kobe. He kicks it to Delfino. And it's Meta World Peace with the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And the Rockets making a change here. Parsons is checked in. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for the Lakers. Lynn kicks to Harden. Clock at 6. Over Howard. Dwight Howard pulls it in.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
Here's Harden, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Harden's got 5 points in the quarter.
He's been hot for most of this game, and if he keeps it up, his team could turn things around.
World Peace dishes to Howard. Gathers, and he lays it straight in. And the Lakers lead by 13.
Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots. And that's what they've done.
Here's a sheep. Here's Patterson. Nice second effort. Good job staying with it.
After a subpar first half, I like the way he's been much more aggressive here in the second, finding a way to hit his shots and get more shots.
And it's Howard finishing it off.
Yeah, he spent a little extra time on the rim there. It looked like he wanted to do a pull-up.
It looked like checking his landing. I think Clark, man, pretty big statement, too.
Yeah, or so he'd have the refs believe.
Harden with it. Picked up by Kobe. Lets it go with the 3. Lynn's shot is off.
Been a rough shooting night for him, but I don't mind that shot. He had a good look at it.
Can't get it to go. Rockets trail by 13. Harden gets a screen from Patterson. Harden the pass to Patterson. And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Howard with the steal.
He had a really good first half, guys, but since that time, he's struggling to take care of the ball. Nice, aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
Harden outside. He dishes it to Parsons. Got a piece of it. Stolen by World Peace with the lead pass. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but through contact, he'll head to the line.
Kobe having just a fantastic game. He has 18 points and 3 assists. If I was giving him a grade, it would be an A+. I mean, his excellent work on offense and defense has earned him the highest grade he could get.
Yeah, it's been a 94-foot performance from him, no question, Clark.
Pau Gasol is checked in for the Lakers. Rockets trail by 17. Now here's Lynn. They set the pick. Harden up top. And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul of the game. Howard with the steal.
I really don't like what I'm seeing their last couple of possessions, Kevin. That's 2 turnovers in a row. Careless turnovers at that.
Now they're getting a little casual with the ball. They've got to nip that in the bud right now. Well, they haven't had to ask him to do too much, but he's doing whatever's needed out there.
From deep, Harden. Offensive rebound. Here's Parsons. Nice shot from 10 feet out.
They have a little extra mojo going here, a little extra pep in their step, more hustle in this second half. They're doing a much better job in terms of second chance points.
White kicks to Kobe. Howard working on a Sheik. Shoots it up. Again, the Lakers.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, one of the strongest players in the NBA, to me, has to be Metta World Peace, also known as the Artest, formerly known as Ron.
You like that, don't you, Clark? Huh?
Yeah, I like that play on words. I do like that play on words. But clearly, Ron, one of the strongest guys to have ever played.
Carlos Delfino's checked in for Houston. Douglas comes in for James Harden. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Howard. Jamison comes in for Pau Gasol. Devin Ebanks, he's checked in for Kobe. And Darius Morris subs in for Steve Blake. Here's Morris, and he gets it to go from the corner. And for Metta World Peace, some have said the name is a little ironic when you look at that elbow he threw that caught James Harden right in the head late last season in Los Angeles.
Well, throughout his career, we know Metta World Peace, formerly Ron Artest, has been very erratic. His issues off the court well chronicled, and he's made progress. There's no denying that. But with anybody that's had issues, whatever the compulsive behavior is, there are flare-ups and relapses. And that's what we saw with Ron, unfortunately. He's done a lot of good things. He won the NBA Citizenship Award, and deservedly so. So hopefully we won't see any more episodes like that James Harden elbow. That was hard to watch, Kevin.
And that one's good.
Great move to get to the bucket and lay that one in. He's got the softest touch around the basket. Impressive.
Lakers shooting wonderfully up to this point, 67%. Back to Jamison. Dishes to Morris. Back to Jamison. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over Patterson. No good from 11 feet.
Well, that's a bad miss right there. I mean, you'd like to see him be a little more assertive when he has such good position.
And that one misses. So both teams making some changes here. And no good on the second free throw. So he goes 0 for 2 there. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here.
64. The Lakers, 83.